We decided one daily segment wasn't enough for Bill Bush and Bill's Thrills, so we turned it into a week-long podcast recap. Here's Bill's Thrills Rewrapped, sponsored by Acres Equipment on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Bill, the floor is yours. Is it a Football Facts Monday today?
It is. And isn't it incredible the friendship you get with our advertisers? Me and Scott Moore were texting back and forth throughout the weekend.
No way.
Just catching up with each other, just seeing
Names,
what's going
dropping
on.
names.
Yeah, it was just fun to get. I mean, that's the kind of connection you have here from the Ticket. That's the people that advertise with us. And obviously, they make everybody tons of money. But it was Scott. I appreciate you reaching out this weekend just to check in.
That is
Thank you
nice.
very much. Okay, here's what we're going to talk about. It's still recruiting.
Okay.
It's still recruiting.
So it ties in.
The NIL bag doesn't solve everything. The NIL bag
got my
doesn't solve everything. So it's just like when I went to LSU. It's like I've been in a different place. Right, you go to LSU, go, finally got it made easy in recruiting, huh? Nope, because everyone that's offered by us has an offer by Alabama, Georgia, Florida, Texas. Everyone has the same offers. There's no chance like, well, LSU offered. Who else? I think Indiana. That's it. The other person like that. Nope. Everyone. So the competition is real all the time. So right now there's this big misnomer that everything is just, well, they just did this. They have a bigger NIL. So here's how it works. It goes down by what section. Where do you fall? So it's about 18 to 24. I feel that is in the elite bank and also has the tradition and has football already built up. So
18 to 24 teams.
That's the Ohio State, the Oregons, Georgia, Texas, all those teams. Those are the ones that they have tradition. They have a great football team, and they also have the NIL to back them up. So when you're in that group, you're still recruiting. It's just not like you're still. It's like you talked about the names. It just went someplace. Those guys had to learn Laurinaitis. Am I saying that correct?
Yeah.
James Laurinaitis.
Laurinaitis.
Yeah.
Okay. He's doing a great job of recruiting because guess what? Everybody else is recruiting those guys, and everybody else had NIL too. Mm-hmm. So it's not just like, nope, they came up with an extra $10,000 or they came up with a signing bonus. No. It still came down to recruiting.
100.
Give people the credit when it happens.
100.
And then you fall to the next level. Then there's so you have to know where you fit. The Washingtons, maybe Utahs. What is there? Next level, 25 teams where you fall into, and then all those places. So if you're in the big,
Is that Nebraska?
Nebraska, here's what I would put in with them right now. They'd be probably in that 24 range or right next level range probably right now. Great tradition, really good NIL, so they have a lot of things going for them. But there's also, I use the term like that, is in soccer there's relegations. Did I say that right? Did I say that correct?
100%.
Relegation.
And so people from that top group will get bumped down, and some from the other group will be all of a sudden a few years from now going to go like, hold it. Nebraska could easily be 9th in this group moving up. But when you're recruiting, so take the entire Big 12, basically. Take the entire Big 12. That's
Big 12,
almost
16 teams.
Almost next level. Well, guess what? When you have an offer from a Texas Tech and Baylor's and Utah's, they're all against each other. They're all kind of in the same boat. There's not one of those teams where you just go, well, it's pretty simple. Baylor's got $32 million in their NIL, and the other ones don't. That's why it's happening. That's not true.
Nope.
And so it goes by
Same boat.
It goes same boat. So you have to recruit your tail off within your where you fall when you start to go with that. It's not just it's NIL now. So we have to do our research. I guarantee you that Moore went to Oregon.
To Corian Moore.
I guarantee you that they did a great job recruiting him.
Yeah, because just real quick, I mean, I was thinking about him as you were talking. You're exactly right. You nailed it. As far as Corian Moore goes, top-rated receiver in the country. He visited in recent weeks Texas, Ohio State, and LSU.
They all have the money.
Yeah, so Oregon had to beat those teams.
Yes, so they did that, and then you go to the next level. That's the Purdue, Indiana, Cincinnati, Fresno's. Where am I at?
That's
with those?
third level.
What's that? Probably third level. There might be a fourth. San Jose State, Hawaii, Mac. So if you're in those areas like that, you know what you still have to recruit. Yep. You don't just get to go the old palms up like, it's all about the money. No, it's not. No. You have to be able to build a relationship with them because they have things very, very similar
that's a good
with
point.
that. But you have to know
that's a good point.
Also where you fall. The interesting part is, will anyone do the live golf situation? Will there be a team all of a sudden just say it's Fresno State and someone says, you know what? I'm worth $4 billion, and I'm going to make Fresno State like Live Golf, and we're going to make them. We're
I
going to make
wonder
them a
about that
team.
sometimes.
Someone can walk in there and just say, "You want to see it happen? Watch this happen."
Yeah.
Can someone go to Vanderbilt and just say, "We're in the SEC, and I'm going to drop. We're going to drop $4 billion. We're
gonna be a power.
We're going to be a power, and here's how we're going to do it." Someone that they'll be, because if you go back now, you remember Oregon right now is looked at as elite.
Yep.
They've been in the national championship game twice, lost, but they've done a lot of good things. And right now, would anybody be off the Oregon train?
No.
Right now, everyone's
Heck
thinking,
no.
there's a great.
Look at
Right
them.
now, you're
Look
going
at
like that.
They're
Could
loaded.
they be in the national championship game
Yes.
this year?
God dang!
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. If they were coming to Lincoln, you look at them. You look at them. You'll be going, oh boy.
Yeah. And then you go back 35, 40 years ago, Oregon was a laughing stock.
Oh yeah.
Laughing stock.
Yeah. When Moose took that place over, they still had that goofy duck on the helmet, like a goofy duck.
It was a laughing stock.
Yeah.
And I mean, Oregon was known that was Oregon would play money games. Oregon would play money games.
Oregon.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
So-
then what happened?
Then all of a sudden, Phil Knight took over.
Oh.
Nike took over. I did hear an interesting thing that I thought that made a ton of sense. It was on a different show. This was something different, where someone said like that. Actually, I think it was Childers who said it. He goes, "Is Oregon in the Big Ten without Michael Jordan?" I thought it was brilliant.
Without Michael Jordan.
Because if Nike doesn't sign Michael Jordan
Ooh.
and make him
Wow.
and make
That's a
Nike
deep
as
thought
big
there.
as they did and make him as big as they did, would they be in the Big Ten? Would they be where they're at? Would Nike ever be worth billions? Now they were trending the right way, but also there was conversation, and Childers brought this up. This is not my original thought. They talked that Adidas was right there from getting Jordan, right there. So if Adidas gets him and they don't, because Jordan is what the Jordans are, what everything. That's when it went berserk.
Nike.
Yes, and so think about that. How one thing like that. What if Adidas?
Think about Jordan's power.
and just think about too. If you're sitting there going, if you're Adidas and you were this close, and all somebody had to do probably was offer a couple more million, and they get him, and it would have been worth. So they would have invested probably $2 million and got somewhere back in $7 to $8 billion.
And that, in fact, affects the entirety of sport.
Entirety of sport. Yes. So when things happen in the past, that was a really good take. About Childers like that. It blew my mind thinking about it, because
It blew Jake's mind.
There's
That's
so
pretty
many
cool.
there's so many little
thought.
things that come up. But when you think about the recruiting, that's when I got into this section of like how everyone is. It's like, and it came back to LSU right away. I was like, whew, finally get to walk in with that logo. Can't wait. Oh wow, who's there? Who's that? Oh, that's pretty cool. There's the assistant coach from Alabama. He's here too. This is fun. There's another guy. Oh wow, here we go.
But still, you got to beat those other teams, like that Pettijohn you're talking about.
Yeah.
That Laurinaitis got. I mean, he got him from USC, got him from Texas A&M. He got him from
They all have money.
yeah,
They all got lots of money.
No, you're exactly right.
You still have to dig in deep, and that was so much fun, because it was you tried to make it so it got so personal that they couldn't tell you no, but you also knew the window you were in. When I was at a Nebraska, and then now if I was at a Utah State, I mean, I'd walk into junior college. I'm like, who do you have for me that I can recruit? And they'd say, listen, this guy's really, really good. I walked into Arizona Western. I go, give me a guy. He goes, Maurice Alexander. So he's the best player on the football team. He's a linebacker. He's from East St. Louis. He's 6 foot 190. No one will take him. He's the best player. So I cross-reference to other schools. They're like they go, he's the best player. 6 foot 190, playing middle linebacker. Took him, moved him to safety. Unbelievable player at Utah State. 3rd round draft pick.
Arizona
Third round draft
Western.
pick. Arizona Western, but no one would talk him. But that's how when I walked in there, I'd go into San Francisco City College from New Mexico State. Who do you got for me? Here's the list of guys that are in your realm. These guys here, it's
New
great.
Mexico State.
Here's some places you can
Wow.
go, and then it'd be different.
Did you say, wait a second, give me your best guys?
what's that?
Did you say, wait a second, I want your best guys?
No, I let because first of all the coach wouldn't even really allow it.
Really?
But he would also at the time it would. So I'm at Fresno. At San Francisco City College, and the best guys were all lived in this one house, and I'm like, okay. And I go, just give me the number of that house. And I would call that number, and they all had the phone, and I'd talk to all 6 of them in the one house. And they all had offers from like that. But I'd talk to them like that. I always kind of made a little connection. Well, Robert Garth was a big wide receiver. I'm talking to him like that. He goes, Coach, you just know, I appreciate you guys calling every week, but He goes, I'm from East Lansing. I'm going back to Michigan State. Like, I understand. So he goes, gets to Michigan State, and all of a sudden it came up that he was a 2 credits short from a class, something like that. And they just call him in. The head coach is like, what do you want to do? He's just like, call Bush.
Wow.
Call New Mexico State.
And there you got him.
And then they called him up. We took him. He came in on a Sunday, got his physical Monday, practiced Tuesday, and caught a touchdown pass against Texas 4 days later. But it was because you had built,
dude.
But I wasn't trying to to know, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna write him more letters. That's gonna work. No, it's not. But then they go, hey, listen, and those guys know, Coach. For some reason, people are passing on this guy. He's better than the guy going here. And so that's always a matter to him.
It is Sip's favorite day of the week. It's Bugaboo Tuesday. Things that bother Bill.
Things that bother me.
I love this.
And Bill,
Also,
the floor is
a
yours.
quick thing. We talk about how much money that the advisors make for you, and what Dirk Scott and Ty can do for you. How about just for me right now? I'm just thanking them. We don't have Bill's Thrills without them.
Nope.
Oh,
It
wait a
doesn't-
second.
There's
Really?
there's no Bill's Thrills without them. It just goes away. They started it. They're the ones that got
A little
together.
pressure on them,
they're
by the
they're
way.
the ones that got together with Jake and came up with this marketing plan of Bill's Thrills. If we don't have so Mid Plains Advisors, thank you.
Mid-Plains
It
Advisors.
doesn't give me a chance to vent on things that bother me.
We like this.
And that things that haven't. So Steve, things bother me.
Oh, that's
There it was.
aggressive.
Radical rural driving that must be resolved.
Uh-oh.
The number 2 car must be addressed. Pull over! Pull over!
Why, God? Why?
Oh, why, God, why? Oh, what happened? It happened. It happens to me every time. And Laura was part of it, and she lost her mind too. When you're driving rural and you're on two-lane highways and you're cruising, right? Okay. I've already talked about the guy who pulls out when he shouldn't, which sends me through the roof.
Yep.
This one's even worse. It's car number 2. In rural, you're going to have, whether it be a farm machinery, whether it be someone's and pickup is driving slow, someone's not driving the right speed. They're slow. It's holding things up. But then the number 2 car chooses to go status quo and just stay right behind them and not pass. And now you got to stack
the 2
it.
cars
And now the
stacked.
number 2 car. Now you're stackables.
Yeah.
All of a sudden 2 turns into 4 and no one can get around. We're driving just south of Albion, and you'll see the number 2 car. This person's just terrified behind the slow-moving one, and then you see the other cars like weave out, take a look, and come back
We
in.
all know.
Weave
Oh,
out,
yeah.
and then finally someone takes their shot. And then all of a sudden you almost get in a wreck, because all of a sudden the 3rd car takes a shot, and the 4th car is going at the same time. All because the 2 car won't go.
I want to defend the 2 car.
No, and there's no defending the 2 car. The 2 car, that
Oh, Ben
figure
shaking
your
his
stuff
head.
out.
I
Oh,
want
they're
to defend the 2 car.
no, they're driving. They're just like the status
Maybe
quo.
it's an older gentleman.
Just drive. Nope, they're just driving right here. It's like well, I'm gonna keep it at 56, I guess, and just stack traffic up forever.
Can't you
And
just whip by 2?
What's it? A lot of times you can. It causes problems. Then because 2 becomes 3. That's what happens. If you're just one behind, but
I
still,
understand.
when you're passing 2 vehicles, when you're rural Nebraska, and I know it's out in Western, it's quite a bit different. There's quite a few rolling hills, so
There are.
you don't have
Yeah.
this
There
long
are.
shot of where I can see what's going on. And it was a debacle. It was and I've seen it every time I drive, coming and go. It'll happen to me if I drive up just to Creighton to sit down and do some book work with Steve Schindler. It'll happen 3 or 4 times in the drive up. The number
Oh.
2 car. The number 2
So this
car.
is a problem.
This is a problem.
This is a
Pull over.
common
Oh,
problem.
I wanted to give him this one. And I tell you one thing. We went by. Laura gave him the look, kind of like
Oh, no.
we went by.
Laura
And
did
she,
the look?
she gave him the look, like
Oh,
yeah,
boy.
gave him the look, like what are we doing, man? Like that. When you can't wait to look too, and when you whip by, you do. I do one of these. Just
Were you tense?
it was tense. It was tense. It's
Was
very
there
tense.
tension?
There was tension. Even Laura.
Now, hold on.
When Laura was heated.
I want to defend car 2 if it's an older person that just isn't ready for the pass. You know, maybe
Car
not
number
ready.
2 needs to get better. Be better.
Well, how about this? We got a live. Scott on YouTube says, "I'm literally doing this right now between West Point and Norfolk. I'm 4th in line, and
Yep.
I'm irate." He says, "Right now."
You're stacked because you know why? The 2 car. The 2 car is the problem.
Chimed in on YouTube while driving. That's bold right there, Scott.
I like
Thank
it,
you, Scott.
Good
Yeah.
job.
Dad, tell me this isn't real.
Well, it's real.
Yeah, it's real. Is there anything else, Jake?
YouTube, yeah. The conservative Husker says driving with morons is so rage-inducing.
It is.
there's a
I
lot
see
of
how
that.
I see how it happens now. I really do.
Road rage.
I see how it happens. I see
You're not
how-
advocating it.
not advocating that. No. No, we're not going to flash weapons or something
No,
out of the
Laura's
car. No,
not
we're not doing
advocate.
that. We just kind of give them the palms up. That's it.
Oh, here we go. Ellis says, my wife is a 2-car. Bill, can you please have a grease board talk with her?
I would like
Explain
to
that
see the
she
2-car.
needs to understand you got to be better as the 2-car.
You get the 2
Pass.
cars. It's so
Pass.
important. You get in that spot. It's like, hey, I got to go, man. I got to go.
This is a good one. This is a
the
good
one car, the
Interesting.
person is causing the first part. That can happen. But the
I'm
the 2 cars got to go.
I'm
Steve.
really surprised how much grace you show the lead car compared to the 2-car.
Yeah.
I say you're giving too much grace to the lead car.
No, it's the 2 cars the problem. Sticking with this, they got to pull them over. That's why I'm glad we still got this bad boy right here.
Yeah, that sign has to stay
Right
here.
there.
I know I've been that 2-car. That's the other thing. I know I've been that dude.
You don't like to pass people?
I know
Well-
Jake would never be the 2 car.
Oh,
No,
God,
no,
Jake
no.
would be.
I am
No,
waving
he'll
in
pass
and out.
on. He'll
He's
pass on
weaving.
the shoulder. I mean,
I've done it before.
yeah, you'll whip
How about
the
when
shoulder.
when you're like going, you can't take it, you do the pull out,
Oh,
and all of a
yeah.
sudden it's like the whip back in, so the
Yep.
car coming, whoa, right back in.
That's me on
You're kind of looking and
81
looking.
all the time coming back from Crofton. I'm always weaving in and out.
There's
Yeah.
a road into Fremont where this happens.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking
yeah,
about?
absolutely.
There's a hilly area. And I've been in those shoes. I don't get worked up about it. I'm always late. So, so I don't.
Well, you
I'm
just
late.
know.
I'm late. Yeah. Anyway,
Thank
that's
you
a
for the
good
texters.
one.
Anything else for
I'm
texters,
just
Jake?
surprised how hard
Yeah,
you are on
2 cars.
2 and not 1.
Sanderson says they shouldn't be driving if they can't pass as
Yes.
the number 2 car.
Yeah, just
They
stay off the
shouldn't be
road.
driving.
They shouldn't be driving. Not
Revoke the license.
You know they're also like this, and they come up behind the car like, oh god, I'm screwed.
Yep.
I won't pass. I'm that person, and now I'm stuck.
And now there's 5 cars
Now they're
behind me.
stacking up behind
Yeah,
me. We
yeah.
can't go
oh,
anywhere.
and it's a mental. Yeah, they know. Yeah, this
Oh,
is gonna suck.
don't think that it hasn't doubled up, and there's been a 2 and a 3 car with the same mindset, of just like I'll just stay right here at 54. I'm good, and then all of a sudden now
Yeah.
you're all backed up. Can't do it, people.
Why is everybody in
Be
such
better.
a hurry? Why is everybody in such a hurry?
Just yes. Be in a hurry.
I think I passed 8 cars once on 81.
No, you didn't.
There was a 1, 2,
Did you?
3. There was a 7
Did you
car.
hammer it?
7 2-cars
Yes.
in a row.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you put it to the?
I said I've had enough. We're going 10 below the speed limit, and for no reason at all, it's time to make a move. And I got past 8, just like that.
that wasn't a cold
When you
ball you were
when
driving.
No,
you
it wasn't a Cobalt.
when you had to pass that many cars too, you look down and you're rolling about 88 miles an
No,
hour
I'm
because
more
you got to
than
get
that.
by them. You got to go.
Oh, you got
you got to
97
go.
maybe.
You got to go.
you might be going
Yeah.
more than 80.
Yeah.
8, yeah.
You got to
Needs
get
be
past
light
them.
there. So that is Bill's
That
Field,
was a
sponsored
good
by
one.
Dirk
Pull
Scott and
over.
Ty at Mid Plains Advisors.
Pull
Hour
over.
2 is next. An early break on the ticket.
Back to more of Bill's Thrills Rewrapped. Sponsored by Acres Equipment on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Wednesdays are what? Them's Fighting Word Wednesdays?
Them's Fighting Words. This will be the last Wednesday of Them's Fighting
What?
Words. Last Wednesday. We're gonna delve into some different things next Wednesday.
Okay.
Interesting
That's a tease.
announcement.
We're gonna
That's a
have
tease.
Yeah, it's a tease. We're gonna have to get in a little bit more with sport.
Okay.
A little bit more with sport that we'll talk about at that time.
Sport.
Sport. It's a sporting show. It's what we do right here, right then.
But there's the flip. Missed the flip.
I did miss it.
Thank goodness they got rid of the baby nurseries in the hospitals. Them's fighting words. Back in the day, when you went to the hospital to visit somebody to see the baby, where was the baby at? In the nursery, in a window just like this. You'd walk up,
They
and
don't still have.
no,
No.
and you would try, and you would look, and you try to pick. I'm like, I'm gonna see if I can find Scotland here. I'm gonna see. Oh, look at that. Looks just like Jake. I see him right there. See her right there. No, you go through the whole thing. Nope, not anymore.
Can't do it.
How was it? How hard was it for me to get inside to see you, Jake?
Tough.
It was hard. Remember the
Was it?
knocking? Remember the knocking?
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
confusion.
That's why I didn't do it.
It was very hard to
That
get
way.
in. That was the whole reason for us right there. No nurseries anymore. Yeah, there's a chance they maybe take the wrong baby home. I get it. But figure it out. That'll happen.
So what?
So what?
Big
That's
whoop,
part.
figure it
That's
out.
part of the risk when you go.
incredible.
It's always it's
not yours.
happened.
You gotta bring that
You
one
gotta
back.
Bring that one back. You got the wrong one. You got the wrong baby. I don't even know how they.
Menards.
Yeah, it can happen. It can happen. But the nursery was the best. You get the baby be in the nursery. There'd be a nurse in
Why
there.
did you think of this?
That's like that because it's
what
bothers.
goes through your mind?
Because things bother me.
What? Read the headline again, please.
Thank goodness they got rid of baby nurseries in the hospitals.
Nobody
Them
says
fighting
that.
words.
Nobody says
them's
that.
fighting words.
Them's
like that.
fighting words.
Nobody
When
says
does
that.
someone says that the best thing they ever did? Why is it? Excuse me. Sir, why has the hospital been so successful? Well, we took the baby nurseries out, so we don't do that now. We just shove them into a room, then you can try to find them the best you can.
Knock on a couple
Good luck
doors
at
to
it.
see if you get the
Then you
right
can't
door.
compare like that. Well, look at that. Look at that baby right there. That's a good looking baby. They'd be all wrapped up in their blankets and stuff right there. You check them out. And the fun part was to try to pick them out. Let's see. There's 4 babies here. Let's see if you can figure this out. Old school hospital.
This would elicit you maybe raising your dukes to fight.
Yes, this would made me want to fight. Raising your dukes to fight. I'd swing at you. I'd throat punch you. I'd take a swing at you. What happened? Bush is in trouble. Felony. What happened? You got in a fight at the hospital. They couldn't find the nursery. He says there wasn't one.
It pissed him off. He was really pissed.
He's really mad.
Those are fighting words.
They went all the way back to when I went to see Jake
Scotland.
Scotland and see him in the hospital, and it's like, what? You know that.
We thought he was a nurse. We knocked on the door.
Knock on the door.
Yeah,
Well, it's just
it did.
very awkward. The whole thing is, it wasn't when there was a nursery. You know what it was? Better times.
Yes.
Better times.
That's what the
Small
essence
t-
of this is.
Small town hospitals always had them. Oh, it was great.
Think about it. If you're in a bad mood, you go to the nursery. You're in a
Go to
good
the
mood.
nursery.
All the young
Just
babies
go by.
in there.
I've never thought of it that way,
A lot
but
of happy life
Yeah.
in there. They're
There's
happy
an-
to be alive.
There's
Yep.
an incredible Far Side where they're the nurse in there. She's sweeping out an alligator out of the nursery. He goes, "Hey, get out of here! Get out of here! Count them up again. We might be one short."
Jeez. that's
Side.
blue. It's a little dark.
A little dark.
That's interesting, though. I like dark.
Getting the Far Side, getting the alligator out of the nursery.
Count them up again.
Count them up again. What do you got, Jake? Anything from
From
the?
the text line,
Text
yeah. Downtown Scott says, whoa, whoa, whoa. I had twins 4 years ago. They still had the nursery then, but oh, yeah, security now.
Yeah.
Things
Oh,
have
is that-
changed.
okay, security.
So this was still around 4 years ago. It's not around now. There is no nursery.
There's no nurseries
where I
around.
was at.
Okay.
I haven't seen one. The 4-year throws me, but I've not seen one forever.
Okay.
I really haven't.
Sanderson.
Is this a COVID
It's
thing?
a big window
Might have
too.
been. Might have
The
been.
window was just like this window right here. That's what it'd be like.
Sanderson says that going to visit someone in the hospital was made better by walking to the nursery and seeing the new
Yeah.
babies.
That's what you did. All of a sudden, it's like, hey, Stan's been in an accident. He's in 4B. Hang on, let me swing by the nursery real quick.
Make
myself
myself
in a
better.
good
And then you
that
could also
doesn't happen
bring
anymore.
the patients by. They're having a tough time down there. Wheel them down to the nursery. Everything will change.
Does any hospital have a nursery?
Not like one that you can just go in and see the kids.
Right.
Like they might help you out and take for a little bit, but you can't like go see all the babies in there.
Okay, you're the
It's
authority.
hidden.
on
It's
that.
hidden.
Yes.
Yeah.
Private
hidden.
screen now.
Private
Oh,
screening.
Can't
They're
see.
not even there.
You can't
Okay.
see in there.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was great.
Yeah, I wonder what happened.
Yeah.
Anyway, those are fighting words.
Those are fight words. bring back the nursery.
How do you not fight somebody over that?
I'm starting to get worked up a little bit.
Get concerned over here.
Yeah.
Thursdays, Zip, usually are cool parenting tips
Okay.
for Bill.
So do some cool parenting tips. It'll be interesting to see where Steve goes with this. See if he had that. And I think that this is Jake Sorensen, I believe.
There's the flip.
On this. Flip is in cool parenting tips. Promote the fantasy of fandom.
Oh, God.
Promote the fantasy of fandom. Embrace alternative venues. Embrace alternative venues. Taking your kids out or taking to a venue of alternative. It's not just going to a Nebraska game. Oh, there's so many things to see. So I'm giving an example.
Yeah, please give us.
Friday night. This isn't like fandom from being there. It was Friday night. We're at our cabin. We're good friends of our house right there, Kelly Pollock's cabin, and we're there. And his son, who's I believe 8 at the time, Monroe, comes out and he's like, "Bill, do you want to watch the final? You want to watch the soccer?" And like that, he said, "Yeah, Argentina's going against Ecuador." And I'm like, "Ecuador, that's my team. Let's do it." And so we all race in.
You do strike me as an Ecuador
and
fan.
we're watching the end of the game. It's like, and all of a sudden it goes to penalty kicks, and it was like we were going crazy. And but they would show the fans, and the fandom was just completely insane. There's nothing like soccer fandom.
Oh, God.
And if you were in so what this is this is no phone time. There's no phones coming up during this time. You're watching what's going on, and we're watching it. Messi doinks one off the
Messi playing for
Argentina.
He doinks one, so I'm pumped for my Ecuador team. And then their goalie makes 2 incredible saves.
Ecuador's goalie.
What? No,
Argentina.
Argentina's goalie makes 2 incredible saves, so they win in the shootout. But it was nuts, and so that was Copa America, which Jake said people went into the stands. Teams went into the
Uruguay,
stands
yeah,
yesterday.
it got
When
crazy in Charlotte.
Got crazy
What happened?
I don't know what caused the problem, but Uruguay players went into the stands yesterday.
But
it was insane.
It
in
was
Charlotte.
But pick college venues. I had a lot of friends pick Death Valley, LSU, and so they'd come down, and I'd get them on the sidelines for warm-ups, and their eyes were like, oh, my. Go to Clemson. Watch him touch the rock on the way down the.
So your
down
friends
the
would come down and watch?
They come down
to Death Valley.
To Death Valley, and they were just blown away. But pick his place.
100.
Pick a place and take
totally
your
agree.
kid. Okay, Nebraska's playing at Indiana. Let's go someplace and watch a game.
Jake does that.
Let's go watch a game and just see how nuts it is and pick games. Give you an example. You want to pick a game right now to go to? Go to Penn State at West Virginia this year. You want to see nuts?
be freaked
You
out.
want to see absolutely
out.
nuts in Morgantown? You want to see things you go, you
want
can't
to see intensity?
Intensity? Go to that and just see what the pregame's like. Just walking around that morning of what it's like. When you go out and just walk around
is a
and
good
You're
one.
tempted, aren't you?
and take
You're
in a
tempted.
city. Take in, like you said, Oregon, Ohio State, which is nuts. But the West Virginia Penn State would be my game of the year to be
That's
at.
an interesting one, but I totally get it.
Because they're so close to each other.
Right.
And,
And it's
there's
hot.
there's so much disrespect
Hot.
for West Virginia. And West Virginia's not back. Can you imagine what their workouts have been like this summer? Penn State's coming here. You want to go?
Oh, it's hot.
You know what they're thinking?
See, this
Let's dance. Yeah.
don't do that.
Yeah.
I love it. I love that discussion. I love these discussions when you get into that because we always do that. I always do it where the college football's raging out of control, NIL, blah, blah. But still, that
fandom.
game, you ain't gonna be thinking about NIL when West Virginia and Penn State are playing.
When they show up and you pick a game, you'll be surprised because sometimes you're going like, hey, this is really cool. Nebraska plays here. This is cool. They go here. That's pretty cool. Find some other venues. Find other places to go see. And you'll be like going, this is incredible. I had no idea this was like this to go see this. Pick a game and take your kids.
It's a good
Pick
idea.
a game, take your kids and just say, we're doing this week. And talk about remembering things.
Oh, you will.
You'd imagine that. Oh, we went to the Penn State, West Virginia when I was 10. You remember it? Not really. We had a hot dog, went home.
of course you remember.
No, you remember
Yeah, right.
everything
Yeah.
about it. You'll remember everything about it.
I mean, even as a Nebraska fan, going to other places other than your conference games is fun. I mean,
Yes.
Fresno State was there. Like I always think about Fresno State, where the Fresno State's situated in the hills, where you saw people picking strawberries in the
Yeah. It's
distance.
Right there.
Yeah, right
Yeah,
there.
and,
there.
And I went to
In the
that,
valley.
that Mexican car show, which is incredible.
You walk down into it. I mean,
Yeah.
there's so
But
many
you're
things
right.
about different, and you can pick out different games. You just go, you want to go to a game this year? Is cool. Go to Utah BYU.
Yeah, take it to another
yeah.
level and go to a non-Nebraska game.
Yes, non-Nebraska game, and go see what that's like. When really all you're doing then, you're taking in both sides.
Hey, get no dog in the fight. Just
no
to
dog in the
enjoy.
fight. So you're just taking in both sides. You're going like,
Fascinating idea. Colorado State would be good.
incredible.
Yeah, it'd be intense.
Go to Fort Collins.
Yeah.
Check it out. See what it's
Great
like.
Yeah,
city.
go to Fort Collins. Don't go to Boulder. You've been
don't
to
go
Boulder.
Go to Fort Collins and see what that crowd
great
will
city.
be insane. They have a new stadium.
Yep.
It will be mayhem.
I wish
for
I
that.
could do that. I'd have to get fired.
Yeah,
Sean,
it's on the table.
I dream of getting
All
fired.
right.
But anyway, yeah, that's a great one. That's a great one.
Anything from the
It's
text
so
line?
fun. Yeah, see if does anybody else have any good ideas?
yeah, Tommy says he took a trip to Minnesota a couple years ago and
Good idea.
really enjoyed Nebraska on the road to Minnesota. Nebraska did not win that game, but he had a good time.
Got that. I'm just saying, try this one out. Pick something besides Nebraska.
Right. That's
try
right. I
something
totally
out.
agree.
Just pick something out because that will. Because you're
I'm
not all
thinking what I
worked up. That when the game over, you're still happy.
I'm thinking like what games would I want to see? I'm thinking about it right now.
2015, I went down to Oklahoma State.
Right, that'd be
in
cool.
Stillwater.
That'd be a great
I had
one.
no
That'd be
dog
cool.
in the fight. It was awesome.
That'd be
it was
cool.
incredible.
That would be an incredible game to go see.
Bedlam.
Bedlam.
I like
it was
that.
sweet.
I
You
like
can go
that
through
idea.
the games, and we if somebody has an idea like, hey, give us some ideas. We'll put some things out on Twitter.
Yeah.
Here's some games that's not very
Not
hard,
Nebraska,
not
Oregon.
hard to get to, not type of thing. Can you imagine being at Texas A&M this year? I can't even imagine it. They haven't played for 10 years? I mean, 10 years, one of the biggest rivalries ever, and that's going to go down.
I mean, simple ones like if you're just thinking close by and you just want to drive, you can always do like the Kansas State or the Missouri Kansas State. Those would be
Iowa
fun.
State.
Go
see the
See,
side.
I would think about that if I was just
Yeah.
a dude without a job on Saturdays.
Yes.
I'm gonna go watch Iowa State.
Someone
That'd
says
be cool.
LSU Florida in Death Valley, all-time favorite game.
Yes.
Is there more? Bill, help us with this. This is good college football talk. There's more than one Death Valley, right?
There's two. Well, right now, all I know is two. Is them and Clemson.
Okay,
They're the two.
I get confused. But would you claim LSU? Loaded
Yes,
question.
I'm going to claim that one.
Yeah, as
But
Death Valley.
It's a 90% vote, and everybody says, "What's the one place you'd go to a game?" It's Death Valley. It's LSU on a Saturday.
Would people
night.
say LSU?
LSU Saturday night? That's the, and they it's the setting it's
I've never seen it.
remarkable.
I'd
It's
like
just
to see
remarkable.
that.
That'd be one to go see. It'd be one.
Yeah, I'd like
that'd be
to
a place
see
to go see.
Before we get to the game show, you mentioned you dream of getting fired someday. Someone says, "Can you remind people where you work at again, Sip?"
I work at Husker Online on the On3 network.
Nailed it.
We're going to Indy.
I got this text. I got this text from Parker. All it says is, "I've been hacked."
I love that every time.
Today's the conference call with Parker, right?
Yes, conference call
with
today.
Parker today.
Conference
First
call
grade.
what
today.
time is that?
What's that? 11:44.
I know not to call.
Yeah, 11. Don't call during that window.
Okay.
Don't call during that window.
That'd be really
I'll have to
annoying.
send you right to voicemail.
No, just type in conference call.
Conference call.
That's all I got to do.
God, that'd be amazing.
Sip texts me back. I never do this ever. If I call Sipley and doesn't answer, I'll get a text while I'm calling. Hey, in a meeting. Hey, right. And I'm like, I've never once
Can't
done
talk.
that.
I do that.
He hits me back right away. I go, that's so kind. You're a friend.
Just letting you know. There.
Back to more of Bill's Thrills Rewrapped. Sponsored by Acres Equipment on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Bill, what is in store for us on a Friday today?
Well, it's always like, wish I was there, wish you were there. And
Yeah.
I wish you guys were there for this.
Okay.
And it's an off the beaten path or kind of a different type of recruiting story.
Okay.
To go tell. So it's
Like
a little
this.
bit different as
There's
we
the
went,
flip.
went through like that. So wish you were there like that storyline. So I'm with Mark Maurer. Mark Maurer, former quarterback,
Wait a
starting
second.
quarterback.
Really?
At Nebraska, beat Oklahoma. I think he wore number 17, if I'm correct. Really good friend.
This was 70s?
What's that? No. This would when Maurer played in the 80s.
80s.
He was Turner's backup.
Okay.
And so, but he did when Turner was hurt. He came in and beat Oklahoma at home.
Around the time of Blakeman, probably.
About the time, about in that same type of time frame.
Okay.
Anyway, so I move on from New Mexico State. He's still at New Mexico State. And we go to San Diego because that was my area. He took over my area. So I'm now at Utah. I go, hey, Maurer, I'll hook up with you in spring, and I'll show you all the areas we're going to go to and what's going to happen.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
Just driving with like that. So I'm kind of showing him around. And I know I've been there for like 10 years. So I know every coach there is in all of San Diego. So we're whipping in this place. We go to small private school in San Diego, and we get there, and we had a little bit of time. He goes, I'll be with you in a second. He hands us these two sheets of paper like that. It has all the players listed on there. These are the prospects to list at. This is a small school, might have one Division I player like that, and they had like 12 listed. Ooh. So I'm kind of reading on it and looking on this thing at that, and Mark's pretty good. We're kind of reading through like that. So I go, here we go. So he comes back in. So everyone's got a title. Every player's he's a competitor. He's a leader. Weight room warrior. Running back, slasher.
Nice.
Two-gapper. Silent assassin.
Oh, yeah, that's a good
one. Possession receiver. Everyone had a name.
Everyone had something.
So
to
we
them.
start talking like that, and we start talking about what we're looking for. I go, do you have anybody, coach, who's just a competitor? I do, right here. He would go through the competitor. And I go, anyone that's just a weight room warrior, anywhere that's a weight room warrior for us, we need somebody to lead in the weight room. And then Maurer jumps in on it, and so we went down the entire list.
All the cliches.
Of everyone like that. We would ask him every single time, do you have anyone?
You're horrible.
Do you have anyone that would be
Come
like,
on.
who up front could hold their own on defense? Who could be there? I got a two-gapper right here. I went down. Is there anyone that's just, you don't really notice him, but in the end, silent assassin type person. It was, Maurer was hilarious.
That's super funny.
It was so much fun. It was so much fun to go through. When we left the school, he just looked at me like, what was that?
It's having some fun.
It's having some
Come
fun.
on.
They had, now They did have a guy there. Jordan Congdon was the kicker I took from there.
Wait,
Oh,
so
hey,
that
well.
was the era. Okay, that
No,
ties
no,
it
no,
together.
no. That was earlier than him.
Oh.
Jordan wasn't there at this time.
I was gonna say,
but Jordan he was a freshman All-American here.
Oh, he
Then
was,
then
yeah.
They kicked the big kick against Kansas State.
Yep.
When Zach got knocked out of the game, he's the one who. And
Jordan Congdon,
Yep.
name from the past,
Then he
very
was-
accurate
Yep.
kicker.
then he went to Yeah, it wasn't a big leg. Went to USC. Was their starting kicker. He
You
transferred.
got it. He was very accurate, not a big leg.
Yeah,
but
not
he
a
was
big
good.
leg, very,
I
very
remember it
accurate.
very well. Yeah.
But that was the school that we were at. So it was just sometimes you have
Maurer.
Maurer.
Who knew that Maurer had that kind of sense of humor?
Maurer is a dry, funny sense of humor. Very dry. And he would be so good. He'd kind of scratch his head. Just like, we need a running back, but you need a power back? Nah, more of a slasher. Like that. Got one right here. Got one right. That's Tony Ortiz right
Where's
here.
Maurer now?
Mauer's retired now. He lives up in Minneapolis. I believe.
Okay.
I believe he works. I think he works for his nephew, which the Maurer, the catcher for the Twins.
Joe Mauer.
Joe Mauer.
That's his nephew.
That's his nephew.
That's his nephew.
Yeah, absolutely.
He was a damn good player.
Yeah.
Retired, but
absolutely.
man, was he a damn good
And
player.
That's his nephew.
He's got car dealerships. That's where he's at. That's where he's working.
I did not know he was
Yes.
his nephew.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Joe Maurer.
The Joe Mauer.
Yes.
Sports.
Sports. So anyway,
That was a good one, Bill.
It was fun.
That was a
Maurer
good one.
Maurer was a lot of
I
fun.
didn't know you worked with Maurer.
We worked in New Mexico State together.
And I'm sorry I was wrong on the decade. 80s. I should have known
Joe
that.
in Boulder says 1981 Mark Maurer beat Oklahoma at Oklahoma.
81.
81.
It was. Yeah.
81.
So he came in for an injured Turner Gill.
Ooh.
It was the man. I think he wore 17. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't know that.
I think Mark wore number 17. You should know him. He's a Golden Glove. He's a
What?
Golden Glove boxer. Yep.
Mark
Yep.
Maurer?
Yep. Mark Maurer.
Really?
Incredible boxer. Yes.
Really?
And it was well known that no one on the team messed with Maurer as a quarterback. They don't mess with him.
Is that right?
Yeah. Don't
Jeez.
cross. Don't cross.
What
him on
is
that.
this? Is beautiful information. Who knew that? Who knew that? I didn't even know he coached down there.
Yep. He was.
I
with the-
can't. Now it's coming back to me.
He came from North Dakota State. Came down there. Yes. Almost lost their dog Muffy in the pool. Yeah, they had a pool and Muffy fell in and about lost him.
Got him though.
Got Muffy out. Yeah,
He
I only lived maybe, I don't know, 3-4 blocks away from them
In the city of
in the city of Las Cruces.
God, you lived in Las
his
Cruces.
his Macy, his middle daughter played soccer at Creighton, and the other two, Marlo and Mia, worked at the football office at Nebraska. Yes, they worked at the football. They were incredible.
Bill's Thrills
That was a good
keeps
one.
delivering.
That was beautiful today.
Thank you, Bill.
Sponsored
God
by Dirk
bless you.
Scott and Ty at Mid Plains Advisors. Before the game show, quick shout out to our friends at Trados. Grain marketing. It's important. Adam Ickes.
Hold
the
it.
team there. Yeah.
Hold it. Is it Adam Ickes or is it Adam Lasso? That's the question.
Ooh, that's quite, yeah. We know he's got a Ted Lasso feel
I think
too.
it's Ickes.
I think more I think about probably Ickes.
Well,
go ahead. Sorry about
They
that.
grew up
Jay.
on farms. They trade a lot of grain. They love the industry. They've met many farmers that found their grain marketing plan frustrating and intimidating. The goal at Trados is to use their ingrained expertise to your advantage. They help alleviate the stresses of grain marketing so you can stay focused on what you love. Learn more at gotrados.com. GOTREDAS.com.
Trados. Justin is in Clear Lake, Iowa. If you're in Iowa and you're like, well, you're well represented all over the place in Nebraska. What if we're over in Iowa? What do we do? Real simple. They also dominate Iowa in Clear Lake.
They go into Clear Lake.
They go into Clear Lake, and then you want to sell some grain, you want to move some product, go through Trados. I'll tell you when to. Tell you what, when you know when to sell, that really makes a big difference. Like when you sell, I sold my stuff last week. Prices are doubled. Wish I'd have known that was coming.
How would you know?
Trados would tell you, hey, just hold on to that for a little. Hey.
Duh.
Duh.
G-U-H.
all that corn you have right now, get it out. When? Today, get it out.
They know
Sell it.
when.
They know when.
That's what they're trained to do.
Trained.
Like Ickes was trained to block that field goal against
He
Pitt.
was well trained how to
Against
block
Pitt.
it, and he did the technique perfectly.
Mhm.
Did
You
the
coached
technique
him.
perfectly. We had made a little coaching there early. I talked. We had to do a flip. Ickes gave me the palms up. Came over and was like, "Shouldn't I be on that side?" Yes,
Yeah,
you
go
should.
get it.
And then we went through our technique and
Talk to Ickes about that before you start your business
yes,
talk.
yes.
I'll help you out.
First thing you want to ask about, talk about the Pitt game.
Say the Pitt game, you blocked the field goal. Bam.
7-6 is the score.
And that's and I'm gonna tell you, Jake, stadium erupted. It
It
did.
was a big play.
I was on the
Was it a
sideline.
7-6 final score? There?
7-6. 7-6.
You were just a wee
I
lad.
watched the game. Dave Wannstedt was on the sidelines for Pitt. And I
he was.
You were a
as,
wee
as-
lad.
As a Dolphins fan that was not a fan of Dave Wannstedt, I was very happy to see him lose that game.
He
to
holds it
Nebraska.
personal.
Oh, he winds
holds
it back.
He winds it back.
I had to. Yeah, I didn't like Wannstedt. You ruined my team.
Sorry,
Sir?
strange bird over there, Jay.
He had
That's-
an incredible mustache.
He still does. I saw him on TV. He's on Big Ten Network once in a while, still doing with the stash.
Did you lock in
They
on him?
call him the Wannstash, what they call him. Wannstash. Wannstedt, Wannstash.